Testing, testing, one, two, three. Okay, it looks like the volume is working out better. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to do a little bit of a longer formatted read. Picking up where we last left off yesterday with all signs. It's going to be a general longer read or a general extended spirit of gratitude, joy, love, highest possible messages at this time. You can take this for all signs. And then we're going to roll through the tarot. If you guys want to learn how to read tarot professionally, reach out. I have courses now available. If you'd like a one-on-one reading, reach out. Only $2 a minute. Catch me on the live stream. Like, share, follow, comment, subscribe at Running Gun Tarot across all social media. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light. Highest possible messages at this time. You get the Six of Wands in reverse here. We all know what the Six of Wands is in the reverse. This is a personal victory, a moral victory, sticking to your guns, fighting for what you believe in, maybe even creating an enclosure, a structure that houses this moral code or this ethic, this ethos. Working on the narrative as well, working on the story that you're writing for yourself, that you're telling yourself. I'm also getting, receiving downloads. It's one of the points that I wanted to make from this past night over since I've last recorded, where we tend to want to think that we are making ideas up whole cloth, but they really already exist in the ethers, in the quantum field. So we're merely coordinating and tuning into said idea, which spirit collaborates with us, or whatever you want to call it. That which is good, that which, and vice versa, depending on what path you're taking, right? You could take a bad path too. When I say things also from yesterday's stories off the Instagram and the TikTok or even the shorts off of YouTube, when I say money is high vibrational, I mean when you're taking the path of, a high vibrational path towards money. Anybody could do something low vibrational for money, right? But I'm merely teaching to those that choose to walk the path of Dharma, okay? The good path of what you can provide to this realm with the time that you're here. Something else was that, and I took a note, I wrote this down, that you have to find the magic in every day, right? You have to find that tuning fork every day, because the astrology, the planet, the star alignments, they're all moving every day. So every day is going to be different. I can even notice when I'm recording content or doing, an episodic on the live stream on YouTube. Sometimes we think that, I've come across the magic here in this one day, and we think it's going to apply and carry over. And you might find the reoccurring, but if you can approach your path with kind of the broad side mindedness of finding the magic, and that's just a catch-all word for being in tune with the vibe of the day and going with that flow. I believe that there's a magic in every moment, and there's a miracle in every moment, surely in every day. It's just up to us to tune into that. Another note that I want to make on some of the short stories yesterday, the 1 minute series, where I go through all the signs. I was reading the Nine of Pentacles for the general as financial hardship. This could also be coming out of financial hardship and headed to that King of Pentacle, Ten of Pentacle energy, because that's been channeling a lot as well. So I know I kind of almost redundantly, consistently read the Nine of Pentacles as financial hardship, but it could be coming out of the independence of the nine, which is self-reliance, as well as even moving through financial hardship. It doesn't just have to be in the stasis of financial hardship. It's moving through it to the 10 is what I wrote here. And also for the people that just watch the short videos, the 1 minute, I'm going to try to do longer formats on the YouTube. And I also advise listening to the longer reads in general that are over a minute. Another thing that I wanted to mention from yesterday was I had the King of Cup in reverse early on in one of the shorts, general or Aries or Taurus. The King of Cup energy, I was rewatching them. So this came to mind what I missed, essentially, which was the fact that the King of Cups in reverse, I really didn't speak to it. But it's almost like that kind of air of like, when will my reflection show who I am inside? Seeing yourself as other people see you positively to your full extent and potential, meaning you probably don't give yourself enough credit as confirmation in the background. And therefore it's not even in your wildest fathomings or dreams or conceptual concoctions that you could be the head CEO of a Fortune 500 company or something of this nature. But that's how much credit you deserve, and that's how much you've built yourself up. So the King of Cup in reverse, usually we read that as negative emotion. It's also been even like a suicide card, because the King of Cup is Charlemagne. Charlemagne was a suicide king in history. Even in a deck of playing cards, you'll see, we got 10 of Pentacles at the bottom, by the way, speaking of that 9 in the reverse. In a regular deck of playing cards, which is actually what I'm using here, you'll see King of Hearts is the King of Cups. He has a sword in his head. That's Charlemagne, suicide king. But in this instance, seeing yourselves as others possibly see you, meaning reaching your full potential here. Okay. Self-realization and recognition for the King of Cup in reverse is what I wrote down. Okay. People project good onto you. We could be too busy assuming the worst or assuming our lowest common denominator projections here. Love the the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse here, because that's usually what's hidden, what you don't see. Okay, that grand kind of majesty of the stability of the 10 of Pentacles here. Ace of Wands in the reverse, no new action at this time. Open-heartedness, though. Okay, a public victory. I want to say a homecoming, but it's almost as if it's going to be in the 5D. It's not a literal homecoming. For some, it might be. But the Knight of Pentacles here is having been true, having been consistent, having been steady. Steady Eddie. I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to eat up all the time. So we've got a lot to talk about. Let's roll on over, reach out for one-on-one reading, or if you want to take a course today, how's yours? Okay, we are cooking here. Let's get for Aries. If you're not an Aries, you could stick and watch and apply this to your first house. In astrology. You can look that up and see what that pertains to. If you're interested in a one-on-one reading, $2 a minute. If you want to learn how to read professionally, courses available. Just ask. Reach out. I have all my info available on social media at Running Gun Tarot. Spirit of gratitude. Enjoy living the highest possible messages at this time for Aries or cross watcher for the first house. 2 of Wands in the upright. This is the whole world in his hands, right? Or the protagonist, the viewer, and the reader. Thinking of things as the bigger picture. It's also been drawing a line down the middle. What side are you on, good or evil? Okay. Look at whole world, and you got the world card here, right? Joker on top of the world. Okay, so this is when it's not colored like this, because there is a version where it's colored with all these vibrant, bright colors. To me, this is like the scaffold, the structure. Having made your bones or cut your teeth. see. I'm also getting a download that I wanted to mention here is the play on the word believe, right? So believe can be broken down to, at least what the download was telling me, was be like water, okay? Because uh, Eve, at the end of that word believe, is actually, I don't know what the right word would be, but maybe analogous or um, acronistic of wave, right? Santos Bonacci teaches that the sin of Eve, we're talking Adam and Eve now, the sin of Eve is actually really, um, how would you even describe it? I don't even know what anachronism maybe, or um, a play on words might be better. But sin of Eve is actually a play on words of the sine wave, right? If you write sin of Eve, you could get the word sine wave from it, um, without the literal letters all being there. But it's a play on the words, because the sine wave is up and down. It's also the snake. It's also the zodiac when you break them down and put them over each other, right? The up and the down. So that brought me to, well, if the end of believe is Eve, then the end of believe could also be wave, such as in the phrase sin of Eve, sine wave. Um, and in mathematics, a sine wave is the parabola up and down. So the B and the LIE, be like, is what I'm getting from that. So the download was be like, not Eve, but be like the wave. Okay. And then that obviously gets you into the double slit experiment, the wave collapsing into the particle. But the wave, what is a wave? The wave is the ocean, the water, the flow of things. So going with the discerning energy levels, right? Believe is synonymous with be like water, be like the wave, right? When we are in view of others' perception, right, the peepholes of the universe, consciousness looking through the persona to experience itself, whatever, we collapse, right? But we are not that collapsed state. It's only there for integration and interfacing, for the sake of experience and knowledge and all that stuff, wisdom, enjoyment, pleasure. But it comes across as you're going to get a lot of mileage when you keep on moving with this flow, with this momentum. And that brings us to the first point of the video for the general just before this, which was tuning into that flow, tuning into that wave, not necessarily paddling against the wave. There are moments when you will want to do that so you could catch the surf, right? So that's what I was kind of getting. I thought that was very interesting. Now to come back this, wrap this around back to the Two of Wands, right? Seeing the bigger picture of that 444 on the clock at the time of this recording. So we are very much so talking about bigger picture ways of being here, waves of being as well. So that can connect to this Two of Wands, where in the tarot traditionally the man is holding the globe, right, to see where he wants to go next. Where does he plan to? Where does he want to travel? Now we have the Joker here. The Joker embodies a lot. We always speak to that when he comes out. Represents the double wish fulfillment of the star, the double Two of Pentacles here, or the double pentacle here, which is the Two of Pentacle. The World card, the Joker, the Fool, the Hangman in the reverse, which is a freed up energy. So this person is papering the world with whatever it is he's bringing to the table. Okay, it could be stand-up comedy, it could be music, it could be, whatever you're in the business of. But the fact is, it wants to go big business and wants to spread. Okay, almost like it's a new wave. Okay, and this person is at the helm of it, or on top of the world, or on top of his game. He has this scaffold, right? Now, there could be a little bit about the coloring process, right? Because I mentioned that there is a card here that is the colored version of it, where it's bright, vibrant reds, yellows, and blues. Now, that is I understand it to be the emotional imprint of who you are, your character, what you represent, what you are about. So right now may be a time where you are reprinting emotionally based on your understanding of the world, riding the wave, all that awesome, beautiful shit that we love to talk about here. This is getting too good. Let's roll this on over to Taurus or the second house. Reach out for more. Curly Girly says, hello, Pete. New here and like the stream. How are you today? Are you taking questions? Curly Girly, do I know you? How do you know my name? Did you look in the description or? I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Taking questions. Okay, so I have a rule about asking if you could ask questions, and I don't necessarily want to break it. It's kind of a riddle. You kind of got to figure it out. Okay. But I hope you do. This card came out, Eight of Wands. This could be for you, Curly Girly. It's a fun, sexy, light-hearted, communicative energy. It emphasizes making sure that you're keeping your mindfulness on the energy meter, okay? Because this Eight of Wands could quickly turn to the Nine of Wands, okay? So you want to be tried and true to yourself, similar to me and my rules of the room where I don't answer certain questions. And it is a riddle. I use that so that spirit lets me know who I should work with and who I should not, who I should answer questions for and who I should not. So if you could figure out the riddle, then I can help you. But I do leave it as a riddle because that's what the universe wants me to do. So, but if you can figure it out, then we could exchange. And if my moderators were here, they would tell you what it is, what the riddle is. But okay, I got to record. And it's not what you think it is, but anything helps. Okay. If my moderators were here, I don't know where they're at. It's probably because it's 5 a.m. here. They would tell you. Okay. So let's do this for Taurus. If you're not a Taurus, take it for your second house. Feel free to like, share, follow, comment, subscribe, reach out for one-on-one reading. One-on-one readings are $2 a minute. If you want to learn how to read tarot professionally, reach out. I have courses available. Spirit of Gratitude, do 11 highest possible messages for Taurus at this time. And/or second house. So Libra Virgo energy, very mathematically inclined and oriented, left hemisphere side of the brain, very sharp with the sword, all about business, brass tacks, would maybe want to cut down some sort of BS here. And I don't want to take it as if she's looking at the Joker here, because I see the Queen of Swords more so as what you are capable of when you really focus and harness this energy, this electric energy of thought, of thinking in logical, rational, practical, step-by-step terms here. Okay, Queen of Swords gets a bad rap, but in this moment, she's getting more so of like she's in order, she's precise, she's concise, she has the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s of the steps in order here in regards to her affairs. 10 of Wands in the upright. This may also involve ending something, putting down something that's been a heavy burden or a heavy work to you, a heavy workload or a heavy way of thinking, almost as if you have to carry everything all at once every single day is what it comes across like. Whereas the Queen of Swords might divvy things out. Okay. You say 10 of Pentacles here. Okay. She understands, he or she, non-gender specific. It's all about the energy. It's not about the gender. that the Ten of Pentacles is a lifestyle. Okay, um, it's not something that can be won or accomplished in a single day. Okay, this is a lifestyle, and this is good because it prepares you for the level that you really want to stand at. Okay, and so what we're getting rid of is that which is not oriented to the Ten of Pentacles lifestyle and mindset and philosophy, and that which you would want to pass on as a representation of your legacy. You also have the Queen of Wands here, Aries Pisces energy, the embodiment of someone that doesn't necessarily break their neck as much, not really toiling, very much so more an influencer, and so can be making influencer money and or a higher tax bracket. Five of Pentacles here, turning a corner, the friction needed to start the fire, to light the fire, to ignite something, lift off of the ground. I'm getting a download here. Let me think as well here. Because remember, the five, the number five itself is going to be, I believe it's going to be, I got to think, I'm thinking here now. It's either going to be Saturn or Jupiter. I forget which way it's going to be. I know that the five in the upright, the shape of the five, the classic shape of the five, or however you're viewing this, it's the cross, right? It's the cross over the heart. But we got to think about this now because it's like, depending on if it's pointing upward, it might represent Saturn or Jupiter. It escapes me. This is something you could probably look up as well, though. But in a certain upward position or reverse position, it could represent the soul overcoming the flesh. And then if it's in reverse, it could represent the flesh overcoming the soul. Now, we're in the business of the soul overcoming the flesh. That's what I'm preaching. That's what I'm practicing here. So, for the purposes of, let's say, the five in the reverse, from the traditional tarot, I always read that as going within, right? And that is where the soul would overcome the flesh here. Or maybe even the conflict of lack here. Which brings me to the conclusion of, well, abundance is a state of mind, right? It's a lifestyle that you can lead a priori prior to seeing the 3D around you. And it's also something that you could usher in, and it's something that you could influence. It's a mindset that you could influence. Remember, the wand is the narrator, right? So this is something in regards to almost like you're writing the script for the generation or the next move or the next railroad track in the series of railroad tracks, the next piece in the railroad track. And it's not going to be what the Queen of Swords necessarily knows or understands, because she only represents playing with all of the pieces that we are already given. Okay. Whereas the Queen of Wands represents, because remember, the swords are analytical. So the Queen of Swords in this case would be taking away what no longer serves, maybe what's outdated, so that the Queen of Wands could step in and write a better addendum to the game that we're currently playing. Okay. Very beautiful. I love how that worked out. That was a lot, but it came out perfect. All right, let's roll on over to Gemini. If you're not Gemini, take from the third house, reach out for one-on-one reading, all that good stuff. Peace. What? Yeah. Go ahead. Exactly. You got it. Yeah. Don't ask to ask. Just ask. Yeah. No, you nailed it. Like you're fucking like number one student. You actually broke it down very beautifully and concise. Like you couldn't have answered it any better. That's exactly what it is. If I had a golden star, I'd give it to you. Golden ticket or a golden sticker. Put it right on your forehead. But no, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. 100%. Okay, let's take this for um, Gemini. Or if you're not a Gemini, take it for your third house in astrology. You can look that up if you don't already know. You should know it by heart already, so that you can get the most out of this channel. Queen of Pentacle in the upright. Queen of Pentacle in the upright. Capricorn Sagittarius energy. Kind, warm, giving, stable, secure. Remember, the security has been coming across as an embodiment off the back of what we just read for. The video for Taurus was very badass. It spoke a lot to the embodiment of that stability prior to having the concreteness of the stability around you in the 3D world of success or material success. So, Queen of Pentacle had that mustard seed, that kernel of truth that grew her into the Queen of Pentacle. She was born as a Queen of Pentacle, but she came into her own because she followed the adaptations and the virtues and the story and the lessons and the guidings of what it is to become a Queen of Pentacle. Okay. And she's fucking making a double appearance because she just showed up at the bottom of the deck. That's how I know we are with spirit, because shit is tracking. Okay, so she too wants to end that which no longer serves her purpose or exalts her being or her purpose. Okay. So there could be a lot of there's a lot going on here because there's a lot of electrical component around her. So this could also even be you needing to take time out to ground yourself if you're around laptops and TVs and cell phones all day. There's very much a grounding component because this Gemini energy is electric. The swords are electric, right? So you have to ground your thoughts. How do you ground your energy? Work out, meditate, take a hot bath, get in your body, focus on your root chakra. She's looking at too much. She's looking at too much, or she's looking at endings as well. An overextension of priorities, obligations, responsibilities, that which can't be sustained or carried forward. Okay. Anything else on that Ten of Wands in the upright? Because it's been coming out. We've been speaking to it. King of Heart. That's that suicide king that we're talking about. So He has been coming out thematically since yesterday, and we figured the meaning out on this night over since I was last recording. We, the royal we, meaning I in spirit, yes, 33 on the clock. That the King of Cup is this in the upright. He's coming through as of late in the immediate recent as when will my reflection show who I want to be? When will I start to see myself as others positively see me? Okay. Look at he has the sword going into his mind as well. And we said the sword is electric, so he's letting the electricity get to him. And he has to ground himself. But in order to ground yourself, you have to put things down, you have to end things, obligations, burdens, responsibilities. Maybe even the wands have been coming across as manifestations as well, or the tool to manifest. So it might even be picking one lane or one storyline or one narrative as well. Okay. Almost like you're harnessing all the manifestation energy into one lane here. And you know exactly which one you want it to be because the ace of spade is out here in the reverse. And the 9 feels like options as well. What sword do I pick up? What sword of truth? What sword am I going to use to cut through the rest of these narratives that no longer serve me? And the answer is, well, what direction do you want to go? Okay. And that'll inform you. So we see the direction of stability here with the 4 of Pentacles in the upright. Happiness here, celebration, romance, the 3 of Cups in the upright, we read it as, and the King of Pentacles here. So this might even be a literal pairing here. Okay. And you embody being with whom you desire to be with by tapping into the romance of life consistently and authentically. And you can't tap into the romance of life unless you create a space for that. And so that's why this is like work energy. It needs to be cleared. It can't just be work. You need some love into. And that's what the Queen and the King of the same suit, Pentacles, is about. And it's also about not shying away from that ideology of how others see the best in you that you might not see in yourself or see yourself as. You can see yourself here, whereas others see you here. So you want to, this is a time to be all that you could be. This is a time to be there's that saying, like, be the person that your dog thinks you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, be the person that other people positively think that you are. This is how it comes across. Because our conceit of ourself is typically the shadow self, whereas others see the luminary version of ourselves. Okay, I love it. Anything else with the King of Pentacles looking at the King of Swords? Well, you could go on and on about like seeing yourself now from a third person view as if this is a dreamscape or the past. And if you had to give yourself assets or resources or tools or suggestions, or what would you advise yourself? If you could put yourself in a removed third party overview, what would the person that is in union already and embodies whatever the king and the queen embody to you? The pentacles are typically financial affluence, influence, having all that they desire in the material realm. What would they say to the version of you now, right? So that's an interesting exercise that you might want to partake in. Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's go to Cancerian? Oh. All right. For more, please. Curly girl, another rule that we have besides don't ask to ask is don't retract your messages. Unless, of course, you make a spelling error, then I can understand. Um, sorry, I'm just stretching out my neck. Okay, I'm trying to read your messages. What's the next action my ex will take towards me? Things got extremely verbally abusive and he left. I'm struggling to shake the anxiety of what he may do. Happened next. I rejected it because I asked. Retracted it because I asked to ask again. I realized I had to. Oh, okay, no problem. So, okay, what really is the lesson here to your question is you mentioned the state of anxiety. That is the answer to your question. Okay, because if you're trying to see what will happen next from the place of anxiety, then you will only see more of that low level vibration. So your job is to work on your current frequency, your current vibration, your current state of being. Okay, I always say that there are only two branches, one of fear and one of love. So ask yourself, where does anxiety fall? Does it fall under love or fear? It falls under fear. How do you cancel out fear and any of the offshoots of fear? Anxiety, depression, all that stuff. Well, you offset it with love. So you want to start to work with love or whatever that is for you. Okay, you could also focus on feelings of stability and security. Remember, we like to think that things are fated when we ask what will happen next. And that is a way of reading, that is an outdated way. But the new way of reading is also empowering the person that asks the question in their full magnetic strength to know that you are actually creating your reality. Okay, so if you say, I'm divinely guided, protected, and blessed, you're casting a positive spell over your aura, over your energy. If you're resonating in love, you're giving power to that aura and that energy. Okay. Um, and that's one approach, right? Another approach may be fear based, a little bit dense in vibration in the 3D. People would call the cops, people would get a gun, people would hire a security guard or a hitman, or, you know what I'm saying? Whereas I'm trying to practice and preach the new world way of doing it, which is to work on your frequency and your vibration. So if it's meditation, if it's journaling, if it's doing mantra, because when you say what are the next actions, you imply it's almost like there's an implication that he's going to come back and physically be abusive now. You know what I'm saying? So you have to ask what is the undertone of your question, you know? But the actionable step is to raise your consciousness to love. Now, if you're in a position where you are really fearful of your life, then you will have to take the steps accordingly. You know, if you're living together, move out, or if you need to call the police, you know what I'm saying? But for shits and giggles, let me humor you and let me see what comes out. Okay. King of Pentacle in the upright. Ace of Pentacle in the upright. Ten of Heart in the upright. Well, this is kind of overseeing a new opportunity for happiness here. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing here. I mean, if he went away, I'm assuming that he went away to blow off steam, right? But chances are that you are the Ace of Pentacle here. And this is the universal gem, right? So it's a big anachronism or metaphor for the gem that is somebody that has taken care of their energy, right? As opposed to if I come home and my significant other is shaking in the corner in fear, that's gonna fuck up my energy. You know what I'm saying? So to my point is that when you do your work of focusing on your energy to bring it to that of the Ace of Pentacle, right? He will then become the King of Pentacles, see that, and then see an opportunity for the Ten of Cup. I know that sounds woo-woo, but I'm telling you, when you understand the fact that we all play off of each other like a feedback loop, then you understand that you are influencing, whether you know it or not, how things are playing out. So so if you're going to create a feedback loop, you want it to be authentic, based on love. Because remember, at the end of the day, it's a choice between fear and love. All things are a choice between fear and love. You're either writing a comedy or you're writing a tragedy. So this is that moment where you pick up the pen. The pen is the magic wand, and you write a happy ending, and you choose a comedy or a rom-com instead of a tragedy. In Shakespearean plays, there were only two types of stories: comedies or tragedies. So you get to decide: is my life a comedy or is it a tragedy? Okay, let's go on to Cancerian, fourth house. Yeah, feel free to tip, leave a donation. It helps me be able to do this and help everyone else like I've helped you, and be there and talk to people such as yourself. So if you're in a giving spirit, I got a Cash App, I got a PayPal, I got a Venmo there. If not, no worries. Just like and subscribe. Okay, let's go on to, we are doing Cancerian. If you're not a Cancerian, take this for your fourth house. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages at this time for Cancerian or fourth house cross watcher. Okay, Eight of Wands, that's been coming out here. That's that energy that you want to stay in. Light, loose, like jujitsu. Six of Wands in the reverse, you're trusting your compass. You're trusting your moral compass, even in the face of lack of growth. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. You're still solid in your experience, in your knowing, in your knowledge. Okay. Sometimes there's a bit of a gap between our faith and our trust in something higher than ourselves, and really trusting and really having faith. Okay. And when I see the Nine of Cup here, or the Nine of Heart, I imagine someone who really is about that. Like, I will do crazy shit, not like dangerous or self-harm, but like I will push all my chips in the middle of the table because I'm that confident about my faith, about my trust in God, higher power, the universe, my path, the flow, the energy of things. So even in the face of lack of growth, Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, this person is still like, it's like a farmer that knows like when the weather's going to come, right in the nick of time. There's just so much confidence because of the experience. very cool to see. And it's also the confidence of the good works, right? The Six of Wands in the reverse. I know that I've done my due diligence. I'm on the dharmic path. I've cleared away old karma. I know what side I'm on, which speaks to what we said earlier. You have to draw a line down the middle of yourself and pick what side are you on. Okay, good or bad, because it exists within all of us. And there's messaging in this modern world that wants you to express and live the worst side of yourself. Ten of Wands has been coming through a lot. We've been talking about that guy. And bam, there's our hero. There's our protagonist. Okay, you, the viewer, me, the reader. I got an incoming call I got to take, but I'm going to pick up where I last left off. Let me just take this.
You have a call from Psychic Source. To accept you are about customer has 17 minutes. Please hold. You are now connected.
Hi, this is Dylan.
Hi, this is Tracy. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm alright. Can you check on Mr. Jimmy Green for me, please?
Okay. Is there anything in particular that you're wanting to check in on in regards to Jimmy?
Yeah, we had a big blow up on Sunday.
Sorry to hear that.
Me too.
One moment. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I do see energies of endings here. Someone being at a crossroads, okay, trying to decide, should I zig or zag? Should I, very much so heartbroken, saddened energy here. Okay, someone feels
Is that me?
shortchanged. Okay.
That would be me, right?
Well, it could be him as well.
He did it.
Yeah.
He's the one that ran his mouth.
Uh-huh.
I mean, bad.
Yeah. And if you had
Hurtful.
your choice, would you still choose to try to work things out with this person or not?
No, I don't think so. But does he realize what he did?
Mm-hmm. I'm looking for that. 1 second. Yeah, I mean, I feel as though that he feels justified, though, in some way, even though.
Yeah. No, there is no justification. Maybe in his mind.
Yeah,
no.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about his mind, right? And like how people could be terribly wrong about how they try to justify themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And
so he thinks I'm gonna call and make the first step.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I blocked him.
Right. Yep.
So he's gonna learn a lesson.
Yeah, and was there someone else involved, or was it just a fight?
No, it was a fight. We had planned to have a date night on Friday night, so I made dinner and all. He arrives. I already know he spoke to his cohorts. They were going to go to coyote hunting. And I didn't say anything. And basically, he told me he loved me more than anything else. We had sex. Then he says his stomach hurts and he has to go. And I'm like, I got everything you need. What do you need? Nope, I only take this. So at 7, I called to check on him. And he said he felt better. I said, well, you want to come back? He goes, no, I'm going hunting with the boys. I went, huh. So I waited, and then Sunday I said, no, he needs to know what he did hurt. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I went to a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And we have not been alone in the evening in 6 years.
Yeah.
And he chose the boys. And I told him, that is just not right. And he goes, look, I am not your boyfriend after 8 years, and you're sleeping with Brett anyway, who is 33 and the farmhand around here. If anything, I treat him like my son. And then I started to cry. And then he's like, oh, well, here's the tears. So I guess you want me to shut the fuck up and get off the phone. And I went, yes, please. And that was it.
Right. Well, and do you have anyone else that is like near and dear to you? Or is it just
what?
anyone else that's like near and dear to you, or is the focus all just on
No.
this guy?
This guy.
Well, and how long have you guys been going back and forth like this?
8 years.
Well, and is this the first time you've blocked him?
Yes.
Wow. And are you personally ready to move forward away from him?
I think, yeah. Because he can't pull that crap if my son's home. I can't take it. It's more like he's more abusive emotionally and mentally.
Yeah. All right. Well,
And
good.
if you're telling me
Yeah.
he doesn't see what he did, means he doesn't care at all.
Well, he feels like he has his boundaries settled and established.
So do I.
Yep.
So just move on, period, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I commend you for blocking him. That's,
Yeah.
but
Okay. Well, thank you.
all right. Thank you so much. God bless. Good day. Okay. Let's see. What are we talking about? Let's see. Mm, I mean, it's kind of rough with the comedian, right? Because it feels like his focus is on his craft. That's what it feels like. So I wouldn't necessarily get swept away with the whole, comedian is a very one lane at a time mindset. Believe me, I know. My ex was a comedian, a woman at that. And female comics are not funny. No, I'm just joking. We get a lot of shit for that. JK. Rowling. But no, a comedian is tough to be with, so I'm really not getting like wanting to come in and sweep you off your feet. So. Yeah, of course you're thinking that. it's not a lie if you're implying all that you're implying, and this person is of their own script, of their own world. Well, it's no, you don't wonder why. I mean, it's the same thing since we all were could speak, you know, like it's the same thing. Women know that. I mean, I don't know why people act like they don't, or they act like they don't. But let me go to Cancerian. If you would like to purchase a reading, we could talk about it more. Okay, Cancerian, I don't know where we last left off, but I'm just gonna jump into it. Spirit of gratitude, to 11 line highest possible messages at this time. Maybe I'll remember what we were talking about. Oh, we're talking about the Joker coming through as in living color, right? Colored in with these emotional impressions. Now, this could quickly turn into projections, right? You want to make sure that you're not projecting onto people. In fact, it's an interesting quality that we've adapted over time through evolution, is by kind of seeing the best in someone, or at least not seeing every kind of nook and cranny of what would be kind of self-conceit or self-consciousness. But this Joker guy, he's been coming through loud and proud and very strong here. I actually like him for the most part. I mean, if it's self imposed imprintment, right? Choosing who and what you're about for the sake of good, okay? But of course, we live in a realm where maybe people are not necessarily attributing this attractive energy to themselves for the right reasons. Let's see what else comes out here. Yes, having the confidence that things will come through. We spoke about the Ten of Wands. I'm just trying to pick up where I last left off and understand if I spoke to the Ten of Wands here. Let's see. The wands have been coming through as storylines or narratives that you would want to write, and or being imbued with special powers to write a certain story based on your actions, right? It's almost as if your actions are the wand here with the Ten of Wand here. Okay. And remember, the actions speak louder than words. So the wand, I'm just getting this now, which is beautiful. The wand is the conceit of the magician's wand, but through action form, right? You want to be a tarot reader? Well, you have to read tarot. You want to be a professional XYZ? Well, you have to do it every day. And then this will get you to the top. Choose your destiny, very much so, right? Manifest destiny. And also, not for nothing, but we've been saying most often as of late that we are choosing between a comedy and a tragedy, right? In old Shakespearean, there's only two choices: comedy or tragedy, your choice. When you choose a comedy, chances are you go to the top. Not to be confused with anyone else's storyline, but meaning your life is a comedy, a romantic comedy for yourself. And realize it doesn't mean go with the comedian. Okay, Ace of Heart in the upright. This is emotional solace, a new cup, a new offer. King of Pentacles here. Someone could be someone of high influence or affluence, could be overseeing you, maybe attracting the ire of the King of Pentacles. I don't know if I use ire in the right way. I think ire is a negative thing, but attracting the interest or the eye of King of Pentacles, maybe. Yes, somebody that would even want to invest in you. Okay, but the problem is when you hang around waiting, notice this guy just came out again here. And I'll show it to you so you know I'm not pulling card tricks here. Okay, but the problem is that when you get so enamored with this, then that throws your attention and your focus off of this, which is you at your best, you at your highest magnetic state. So don't get slipped up because then you might fall off the tightrope or the tightrope. Play on words. I can buy my flowers. Anything else for Cancerian in our fourth house? Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Catch me on the live stream, guys, at Running on Tarot. Six of Wands in the upright. This is public victory. This is Jupiter in the sign of Leo. Very expansive, proud, robust energy. Public acknowledgement here coming through strong. 2024 is going to be a good year for, yes, the cardinal signs, but if you have Cancer in your chart, I know I have a Cancerian moon. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. And I'm getting that you have the kind of expertise to know enough not to get necessarily tripped up, right? When you're doing your thing. You've been around enough to know not to have your focus be pulled to the side, especially when you're doing what it is that you do. And it may seem like everybody's coming out of the woodwork right now because they are seeing or experiencing your glow up. They are seeing or experiencing your time, your rise, your comeback season. The only problem is that your manifestations have a step ahead of you. And they require that you be in your position, in your place, doing what you have been so contractually obliged to do. This is the manifestation rushing to you as you do what you do. These are the more dense energies trying to come in and like be a part of the show, you know? And it don't work like that because you've been preparing for the past a lifetime, essentially. This is a lifetime and a lifestyle, a way of life. So be wary of the fair weather friends and fellows and all that stuff. And be very mindful of the harmonic of connections and relationships and the soul tribe that you're attracting and all that stuff. Okay? No one is above getting cut or excommunicated from the roster. I'm going to leave it there as well on over to Leo or fifth house cross watcher. Holler at your boy, please. I just copy and pasted the PayPal button to donate, my friend. Thank you. Just reading your comments here. Thank you, Realize you're sweet. Very, very sweet. Okay, let's rock with some Leo energy. So I'm going to keep my other links here so people can see. So let me take a quick pee break and I'll be back. TMI, 1 second. My big, yeah, it's a 7-Eleven big gulp. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It helps me get my daily water intake. It's going to be for Leo or fifth house crosswatcher. Take it if it resonates, reach out for one-on-one reading. This Eight of Wands is coming out. It wants to be acknowledged. Fast incoming communication. Okay, it's also being understood as this kind of like lighthearted, easy come, easy go energy. It's the excitement, the fun, the thrill, but it's an energy meter that can quickly convert to the Nine of Wands, which is burdensome, overexerted. So you just want to be mindful that the energy that you're bringing is not taken away from you. Queen of Pentacles here could be overseeing or administering this value, this energy. Yeah, the Joker in the reverse here feels like empty or zero. on empty or zero. Seven of Swords feels like resources being reallocated. Three of Swords in reverse, coming out of heartbreak, sadness. Sometimes we give too much, right? And we're left feeling empty. That's how it comes across. You need to rest, recharge, rejuvenate. And then come back stronger than ever. I'm getting that you are like on a good consistency day in and day out, learning more and more about that aspect. A lot of us are coming from that grind culture where we're like more. And I feel maybe we're transitioning to more of like a flow culture, work from home, half day, getting 80% of the work done in 20% of the time. But very much so, when you're fully charged and magnetic, you can chop down the competition, you can clear the air, get the story straight. You could even help others as well on the path. I'm getting like a spiritual Harriet Tubman, right? Where you're able to bring others out from the underground. Because you could see the state of worry or concern that they're in, or even fear, guilt, shame, with the Eight of Swords in the upright. But as the King of Swords, you have already achieved that heightened level of understanding of how to counteract those low vibrational frequencies. Yeah, we mentioned a lot of people coming out of the woodwork, maybe wanting you to feed them emotionally, and you could be a little bit righteously indignant and be like, why now? Why now that I've perfectly aligned all of my cups in order? Why now that I've achieved emotional equilibrium and peace? Why now? Please tell me why. You are asking me to feed you emotionally now? It's been 34 years. And so, yes, maybe part of the karmic journey is to give people medicine. Okay. Part of your dharmic, not to sound so high and mighty, but part of your dharmic path might be giving those on the karmic path unconsciously their medicine. But for the sake of establishing a more healthier relationship based on respect and love and open honesty, truth, as opposed to walking on eggshells, pretending that everything's okay. Okay. Pentacle, stability. Really finding yourself in this kind of dream mode. Okay, Ten of Cups. Preceded by the 9, right? Because you worked on that emotional independence. So that's why you get the Ten of Cups, which is usually in a relationship. It doesn't have to be, but it very much is like, you know, Life can be a dream. Channeling like falling in love with life, okay? Choosing to be in love with God, yourself, the romance of your life now as it is with everything you have here and now in the present moment, regardless. It could be single, it could be in a relationship. This is a state of being based on knowing who you are emotionally. Four of Pentacles meets the Nine of Cup. Nine of Cup is emotional independence. Four of Pentacles is that stability within yourself. Anything else here, Spirit? And again, anytime these kind of age-old programs want to come and try to put you in a birdcage, Eight of Swords, right? The swords are surrounding the person. You know how to bibbity-bobbity boop yourself out of that by seeing it from a higher perspective, by knowing that it's just a state of being, a wavelength, a frequency, right? You've reached this point where you realize that you don't have to have a panic button at hand all the time. Catastrophizing button all the time. When you raise your frequency, when you tune into love, God, all that stuff, romance and joy, when you choose love here and now or choose the higher, then the solution comes to you. Remember, the solutions are not made out of whole cloth by you. You are not the one that makes it. You are the antenna that tunes in to the radio station or the TV channel. Okay? Sometimes we get it twisted that, we are creating these things out of whole cloth, but we're not. We're co-creating in tandem with the quantum field and God and all that stuff, right? It all already exists out there. That song already exists in its own whole cloth. Everything is and does. You are not making it from nothing. You are simply tuning into it. You think you're making it out of nothing because to us, the quantum field comes across to our senses as nothing. But it's not nothing, it's everything. There's that story of Michael Jackson when he woke up and he's like, oh, I got to record this song. And the producer's like, why are you in such a rush? We'll just do it. He's like, no, if I don't do it, then Prince is going to record it. That's some shit that somebody who knows that is out there for the taking, right? Just like brilliant ideas for apps and, this and that, new technologies. It's all there. We're all casting our net to collaborate with that energy that we know as the creator. We call it God, we call it whatever. It's very fascinating. So I suggest to tap into it and work with it more. We do that through meditation, allowing our brain to have 25 minutes out of a day to just do nothing, sit in source, sit in meditation, and see what it could come up with the quantum field. All right, let's roll this on over. I think that was Leo. It's going to be for Leo. Yeah, that was Leo. Okay, let's see for Virgo. If you're not a Virgo, take it for your 6th house. Feel free to like, share, follow, comment, subscribe, reach out for one-on-one reading. Only $2 a minute. If you want to learn how to read tarot professionally, I have courses available. Check out the live stream on YouTube at Running Gun. At Running Gun Tarot. Ran out of breath there. As well as on all social media at Running Gun Tarot. This is for Virgo or 6th house. If you're not a Virgo, take it for your 6th house. In astrology, you should know what that is by now, by heart, if you follow me, or if not, you could Google it with the 6th house. What the 6th house is, in astrology. 5 Pentacles in the upright. This is at least newly downloaded today. Downloaded, right? It's our favorite word. is the victory of the soul over the concrete, right? The soul over the 3D. We think that the soul comes from the 3D, traditionally speaking, but when we are wise and learned, we come to the realization that the 3D comes from the soul. Okay, everything comes from nothing, right? When we're young, we think, the reverse. Also, something that I wanted to talk about that was, speaking of downloads, that I had in this overnight, when I was in bed thinking, in that twilight state, in and out of sleep, was it's so funny that at such a young age we learn heaven and hell, right? Heaven is up, hell is down. And I just thought that was just so fascinating. How fucking like beautiful and like sagely is that? Like, the first thing we teach our youth is heaven is up, hell is down. And it's like, imagine, there's this movie called Wrist Cutters, a love story. It was famously on Amazon Prime. I used to watch it on while I was in college, and it really, these people were sent to purgatory. People who committed, unaliving themselves, I guess is the PC way of putting it, to use TikTok language. And they were in this purgatory world. And yesterday, for some reason, it came across as though that the purgatory world that they were in was like below. Not because there were any, intonations of that or inclinations of that suggesting that, but because hell is down, and when you do that, you go down. But that means that we would then be up to them. Okay, this realm that we're in the 3D. And then that would mean higher dimensions are above, which is what a lot of people are teaching nowadays in trying to understand the model that we live in, the Earth model, the cosmos, the new cosmology, right? I say in trying to understand it, or in trying to create it, because I firmly believe that we are creating this motherfucker as we speak it, and the best idea will win, and that'll be the reality that we have created for ourselves. Okay, so very important to know what you're creating, with your cosmology, with your worldview. So it's interesting that we are kind of downloaded and pre-programmed at a very young age to know that everything wants to go up. We want to ascend up. We want to be tall. We want to match with partners that are tall. We want to move upward. We want to grow like the tree. But as a lot of the teachings have been coming across as of late, like in reference, for example, stability, right? We may think that stability is finally having the pieces to the puzzle in order, the box checked, the ducks in a row. What has been coming through in these teachings on my channel is that stability is something that needs to be embodied first and foremost. Remember, everything comes from nothing, not the other way around, right? And so we have to embody, dare I say, that higher realm within ourselves. We have to choose it and embody it and live it accordingly. At the risk of sounding so preachy, but they say that in hell, everyone's hungry, but they can't eat. And the only difference between hell and heaven is that in heaven, everyone's feeding each other, right? The real story is that, and it sounds kind of funny, but in hell, everyone has food at the tip of a utensil that is too long. They're tied. They can't feed themselves. And instead of feeding each other, they struggle to still feed themselves. In heaven, the only difference is that we're all feeding each other. It's a clunky, image, but you get the gist of it, right? So we must embody feeding each other in the right way. Another download that I had is that I might not have the same nutritional requirements or energetic appetite or energetic requirements as you do or as the next person does. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a golden retriever, I should be eating golden retriever food. I shouldn't be eating chihuahua food or whatever example you want to use. It was another interesting download that because we're all reflective of a certain archetype that is here to do something, right? So the other idea, which is not new, but since I'm on downloads and just getting it all out there, especially since we're in Virgo has to do with health, right? Organization, day-to-day routine, lifestyle, is looking at food as feeding your atoms. If you look at them as feeding your cells, well, yes, but under the cell is the atom, right? And that's the charge, the electric, the magnetic. And I know it's been spoken to over and over again. It's not a new idea, but it's the emphasis of consuming. And I'm not one to talk. I'm being a hypocrite right now, but consuming foods that are alive and or water structures that are alive, such as like the water from coconut water, or the water, the liquid from the hydration from fresh fruit, vegetables, things like that. And it just goes to show you that it's like what we think we're doing says a lot about where we are at with our understanding. The old age view is thinking, I'm feeding my stomach, I'm feeding my body. But it's deeper than that, right? You're feeding your cells, you're feeding your atoms. It's all electric and dielectric and magnetism, which is a lot of what we preach and teach on this channel. So coming into your full magnetic power, right? Santos Bonacci talks a lot about this. He famously is a vegan. I don't go that far, but I can understand why, because all of this has an influence on our full magnetic, our full magician, our full I magi, right? Imagination is I magi, I am a magician. Taking back our full authority with our wand, which is the pen, to write our happy ending. Now, if we're collectively doing that, then we are writing a utopic world. The powers that be, they want you dystopic. They want you separate from God, separate from the divine, separate from yourself. An alienation. Okay. I know it sounds really cool. I can't take all the credit, but what can I say? I'm good at putting the things together. Okay, let's roll on over to Libra. Reach out for one-on-one reading. How's your voice? Oh, yeah. Let me see if the PayPal worked. Yes, it did. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Realize I got it. Woohoo! Got the 10. How much space do I have here? Okay, I got 8 minutes. So I'll probably stop there because I only have 8 minutes left. And then I'll just do some uploading. I got a lot of uploading to do. Thanks, Realize. Have a great day as well. The offer still stands about the classes if you're ever interested, all that good stuff. I'm just reading your comments too. Especially when the underground road ended, we're literally fresh off the boat here. The underground road. Wow, that's cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That was nice. I like that. So I'm trying to feel out what do I want to do next. Like I mentioned, I do have a lot of stuff to upload, but the question is should I stay live stream? Just trying to feel it out. Should I stay live stream while I upload, or should I shut the live stream off? Oops. Whoops a doodle. Let's push this back. Okay. Oh my god. Ooh, I stood for an hour and a half. Everybody. Rock your body. I might restart the stream. Okay. So that I could just hang out and upload and all that good stuff.